Hey everybody, it's Jane.
And Mike.
Here at Earth Care Farm. It's the beginning of October.
It's my favorite time of year. It's just fairy tale time of year. Things are perfect.
So we're standing in the asparagus patch because we leave the asparagus fronds, these, standing through the winter. They are tall and unruly, and I need to weed them before the season is over. But I find that there's just the roots, the crowns of the asparagus are just calling for all this green, luscious chlorophyll be soaked up into those crowns underneath so that next spring we have even more nutritious asparagus under there. So that's been our theory, is that we leave it up, these will start to turn brown, and when they're like fully dead, usually it's early spring, is when I cut them down. I just got back from Austria a couple weeks ago, and so this has been the first year where September I was really away a lot. And wow, I have a lot to catch up on. But it feels good to be back in the garden. And there's also less of a time crunch, I feel like now. I have the month of October to catch up on weeds. I'll tell you the other things we're doing here. As we pull out some of our crops as they go by, we're topping the beds with compost, getting them ready for the winter time. A lot of things we leave up now, like if, let's say the kale is looking good, we'll leave it up all through the winter. And I won't cut things down until spring. I try to leave up as much as possible because I'm always thinking about the soil, and the soil needs to be fed, and the soil is feeding off those roots underground. It's also garlic planting time in a few weeks, so we're preparing for that.
Are you going to top dress with compost or raised bed mix this year?
I'm going to use raised bed mix, so you can decide what your own gardens are like. We've been adding compost to these fields for 40 years.
At least.
So I've been adding the raised bed mix the last few years because we do add mineral and little peat moss into that raised bed mix with the compost. That's what the raised bed mix is made of. So I'm feeling like we have so much compost, it's time to get a little mineral back in, because the mineral that is in most gardens is from that parent material underneath, and we're kind of getting sort of high. It'll be interesting to excavate this in a million years and see the many layers of compost.
They'll think it's the lost continent of Atlantis when they...
Yeah, so what else are we doing? We're digging our sweet potatoes up, cutting the sweet Annie and drying it. Yesterday I dug up potatoes that had been left in with some children. That was really fun. Lots of kale to be eaten and harvested.
Wonderful to see the children dig potatoes. They just have so much fun with that connection.
Yeah, I was talking with the little kids yesterday, and they decided it's better than an Easter egg hunt. They were like, where do those plastic eggs come from anyway? And I changed the subject. We talked about potatoes, but those purple potatoes we dug, and the Yukon Golds, it was a lot of fun.
They learn a lot about life in the garden.
Here we are in front of our Sweet Annie patch. If you don't know Sweet Annie, it is a really fun plant to grow. It has an amazing smell. It smells just like this herby, how do you describe it, Dad? I don't know, but it's relaxing. It is Sweet Annie. It is a really sweet, relaxing smell. And it grows incredibly fast and tall. The plants easily get to be 6 feet tall and wide. It dries beautifully and makes a really nice wreath. A great filler plant for bouquets. But the main reason I grow it is that it attracts a tremendous amount of ladybugs. It's a really great place for monarch caterpillars to come and form their cocoons. So yesterday when I was with those school children, we actually got to see one just about to emerge. The little chrysalis turns all black, and you can see these gold dots around it. It's really, you can almost see the wings like wrapped up inside. And today we look, and it's already, the butterfly is out in the world. And then I just found another one about to do the same thing. So it's an exciting time of year, and like Poppy was saying, so many lessons here from that. Imagine what that's like that transformation, that growth that happens in there. It's still sort of a scientific mystery that we're trying to figure out. Like, they go from a caterpillar to a goo stage. I think I'm in the goo stage of life right now, Dad. And then the butterfly wings form in there, and then they can it must be the scariest feeling, right? To be just so encroached in that space and not know what's out there and then have to crack through it. I just think and then fly away.
You've all heard the expression, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, in the garden, it's what came first, the seed or the plant. It's a circular thing, but there's something behind it that we don't understand. I don't know if we'll ever understand it, but it sure is delightful to work with it.
Yeah, and you get to witness it. We have beautiful flowers around. Oh, the dahlias are gorgeous right now. So as soon as we get a frost, we will be lifting the dahlias out of the garden and storing those. We put them in bins of peat moss in our basement. They seem to work really well like that.
It's great when people get to work on a farm. They really know what work is and how it is an endless thing to be doing something to make things better. You feel good when you improve things.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you soon.